Hello everyone. Now we begin with graphic presentation. And to understand the graphic presentation, let's understand its basics. Graphic presentation of data is the technique of presenting statistical data on a graph paper in the form of lines or curves. Graphic presentation of numerical data is very advantageous in the sense that it is simple, attractive, and easily understandable. Sometimes people may find it difficult to understand when the data is presented in a tabular form. But when it is presented graphically, it becomes very simple to understand. And also, by doing so, it makes the complex data very simple and easily understandable. Also, when data is presented graphically, it is very useful in comparison of two or more phenomena. Not only that, one can easily locate all the positional averages, that is, median, mode, quartiles, can be presented graphically, can be understood easily, can be interpreted easily. And by doing so, then it becomes very helpful in making predictions, because through graphs, tendencies that could occur in near future can be predicted in a much better way. So it is used in all the spheres, whether it is trade, economics, government departments, advertisements, anything, and for every aspect, graphic presentation is acceptable, it's understandable, and is widely used. Now, let us understand the very basics of the construction of a graph. So we need to understand some steps. First step is that you need to draw two simple lines intersecting at right angles. These are called axes, like the way it is shown here, x-axis and y-axis. Horizontal line is x-axis or is called a abscissa, whereas y-axis is vertical line, which is called ordinate. So we have x dash and y dash representing the other side of both the axes. Then you will get a point of intersection that is called the point of origin, denoted by O or 0. And you find that there are four quadrants. First quadrant is YOX. This is the one. Here you find both the values of x and y have been shown as positive. That means only positive values of x and positive values of y can be plotted. Then second quadrant is y, o and x dash. That means one can plot positive values of y and negative values of x. Then quadrant 3 is x dash, o and y dash. In this quadrant, whether it is x or y, both negative values can be plotted. And the last one is x, o, y dash. Here one can plot positive values of x and negative values of y. So the next step is then values of independent variable are measured along the x-axis and value of dependent variables are measured along the y-axis. And that's what you need to do. Then you need to select an appropriate scale. Scale indicates the unit of a variable that a fixed length of axis would represent. It may be different for both the axes, but it should be taken in such a way so as to accommodate whole data on a given graph paper in an attractive style. And finally, you need to plot the data on the graph paper on the basis of values of x and y variables. Repeating, on x-axis, independent variables will be plotted. On y-axis, dependent variables will be plotted to have points on the graph paper. Now let us understand about the false baseline. As a rule, the scale on y-axis should begin from 0. That everyone knows. Like this, it is shown here on the graph paper, beginning with 0. But if the values in a series are huge and the difference between the smallest value and 0 is very high, then y-axis would start from above the point O. For example, if exports of shirts start from worth rupees 40,000 and goes up to rupees 90,000 in 4 months, then false baseline can be used. Then in that case, one can have a kink here, or this point can represent 40,000, and after that 50,000, 60,000, 70,000, 80,000 and 90,000. There are two types of graphs. One, frequency distribution graphs, and two, time series graphs. Frequency distribution graphs are those where the data is expressed in terms of item or class intervals. These are in the form of line frequency, histogram, frequency polygon, frequency curve, and cumulative frequency curve or ogive. Whereas time series graphs are those where the value of a variable are recorded with respect to time of the occurrence. So it can be one variable graph and more than one variable graph. So in this video, you have understood meaning of graph, advantages of having a graphic presentation, steps involved in the construction of a graph, and various types of graphs that can be constructed. Next time, we shall understand about the frequency distribution graphs, beginning with the line graph. Till then, keep reading and keep learning, keep practicing. Thank you. To learn more, visit our website and enroll in our courses to master economics and get a higher score in CBSE and CUET examination. With our current introductory offer, you can enroll in each of the courses for just rupees 999. So, seize the opportunity and join before the introductory offer expires. Like, share and subscribe to ECOSTUDYS channel. Also, drop a comment. See you in the next session for another concept. Thank you.